Hey everybody and welcome back. This is me, Gunther, and I'm ranking every aesthetic on the Consumer Aesthetic Research Institute page. I've explained in my last video what this is, so I'm just going to continue because we got a long list ahead of us. Number 71, Decoplex. This is meant to mimic a golden age of Hollywood, assuming that it ever truly had one. I like it for what it is, but I'm not a movie buff. Outside of like mafia movies, how can this really be used? It has an elegance to it and it looks fancy, but it doesn't stand well enough on its own. Good luck finding this one outside of movie theaters. Number 70, Sports Brut. Another brutalist style. It's meant to cater to athletes and sports fans and is trying a little bit too hard to be masculine. It's interesting to see non-sports usages though. It uses vectors and contrasting colors, but often black and white. It's okay. It can be done well, but it's too new to really like it that much. Number 69, Boho Chic. Polychrome would go well with this. It's meant to almost be rustic and nature-inspired, but in a clean way. Also, Illuminati. It has a mystical magical qualities to it and occult symbolism. Orbs of light, pastel, runic texts. It's just music festival chic. It kinda hits a soft spot, but I feel like it also appeals to fans of Live, Laugh, Love. Number 68, Hypnus Purgatory. There's lots of interesting names on this list. Anyway, I'll admit that this one may have gotten so high up due to nostalgia, but sort of the cutesy homemade DIY nature of it as well. It's not ugly like the dollar store vernacular is though. Some of the drawings are actually detailed. While anyone theoretically could make a picture in this style, it does have a bit of extra polish to it. Number 67, Curly Girly. I used to see this a ton on TV, in toy stores, or on my classmates' clothing. But as a young boy, I didn't get to really experience it firsthand. So I may lack that crucial nostalgia that may have kept this from a higher spot. Don't get me wrong, it's cute and it's fun, but it's just a little too predictable. And the pink swirls have a limited application. Number 66, Eco Beige. As bland and boring as this is, it's definitely not the worst, or it'd be placed 20 places lower. It seems to coincide with the beginning of the organic movement for being healthier. Some of these pictures have pleasant lighting and atmosphere to them to make up for the lack of color. My mom loves this aesthetic. That's all I really gotta say. Number 65, Fraser Bane. I guess this is a pun on Fraser Crane. And it's another urbane. Very yuppie, and it wears it on its sleeves. It's not awful, it's elegant, it has rustic elements, but it's a little too refined. Reminds me of boring old people. I can tell everything about the person who enjoys this aesthetic. I know what they listen to, I know they own a summer home somewhere. You get the idea. Number 64, Gay 90s Revival. Yeah, haha, get it out of your system now. But anyway, this is actually referring to a revival of the 1890s style. It's, interesting, I guess. It's like old times. The people who would have been nostalgic for this have all been dead for a long time, or would have been almost dead by the time it got revived. It's very decadent and pleasant to look at, but it's just a bit boring and lacking in originality. Number 63, Pixelscape. I'm gonna get hate for putting this as low as I did, but I just feel like this style is kinda ugly now. It just feels dated. It has limited usages, and I guess for the time, it was unique to bring back pixel art from like the early generations of gaming, contrasting with what was the 3D era, but in the end it's all just pixels. Maybe I'm just bored of it because of all the indie games that are using it now, and I lived in this era with these amateur games for way too long. Number 62, Soft Colonial Wanderlust. Yeah, the name is a bit controversial, but I'd also call this one Baroque. It's like a Victorian nostalgia kind of thing. This aesthetic went on for a while. Seems like it was very questionable to emulate this era, but it is quite dapper, I'd say. Looks like something you'd find in someone's attic that belonged to their great-great-grandparents. But all the bad history aside, this aesthetic is illustrated well, and the clothing is a good fit. But again, it is just a little bit predictable. Number 61, Neoclassical Pomo. So Pomo stands for postmodern, if that helps. This one brings back Roman architecture. I've seen this in houses in 70s and 80s movies. The issue is that it's usually only applied to buildings, so the reach is very limited. Also, there's only so many white marble pillars that you want to look at. It's extremely regal, but at some point we gotta move on from the ancient past. Number 60. Nouveau Organic. This one's a little odd because I've actually never seen this in my life. I know it's before my time, but still. I've seen the other older ones on the list. This one claims to be more naturalistic, but it doesn't look it at all. Either way, I guess it's kinda cool. It's almost mysterious though, how I've never even known of it. It's like trippy, yet spacey. Whimsical. And honestly, I'd have trouble identifying the common factors. It just seems to be mostly used in architecture. Number 59. Utopian Scholastic. Yep, this is the book covers of the educational materials from your school library. The look got its name from a Facebook group. It brings me back to my elementary school days. While it does share elements with other aesthetics that I ranked lower, as I said, nostalgia kicks this one up. Yet still I find the visual is way more fun in this and way less preppy. It's inviting. The text is vibrant, the pictures align perfectly, and I guess that's part of what makes it not exciting enough to be higher. Number 58. Renaissance Revival. This is somewhat medieval European inspired. It's very rustic and elegant. Lots of brown and beige and muted earth tones. You can hear the pan flute playing just by looking at these pictures. This would be cool to advertise a Renaissance fair. I'm kind of bored with all the throwbacks to old stuff. In this case, very old, but it's still decent to look at. But it belongs in a history textbook. Number 57. Contempo Eclectic. So this one has multiple inspirations that span a few decades, going from the 70s to the 90s. It's bold, it's in your face, it's zany, it's artsy. There's bright pops of color against a usually white or muted backdrop. Lots of freeform shapes. It's basically Memphis design applied to furniture and architecture. You only see these rooms on TV shows. Nobody in real life has anything like this. It's cool, but very impractical. Number 56. Deco Luxe. This is like an 80s high-end department store. This is the Ritz, this is the glam. Glass, marble, shiny precious metals, reflective surfaces. More earth tone colors as well, but it has a variety of them. With this aesthetic, you'd probably wear a tuxedo, or your best formal gown with heels. It's very classy and it knows it, but I'm not over the top for these super wealthy looks. That said, it still holds up today. Number 55. McBling. I know a lot of you are mad that I put this so low on the list, but this was a very questionable time in life for me. Things were changing a bit. I was never trendy, and I just didn't get this style when it was a big thing. It felt like my childhood was going away, and I just didn't want to become a teenager and start transitioning into whatever this was. This shit was just way too happy for my teenage angst. There was a mixing of like regal and tacky, and it just felt confusing. And it was almost always pink and very girl-focused. And somehow it felt, dare I say, trashy. But it is iconic, and it is nostalgic, and it holds itself up. Number 54. Hexatron. This is literally just gaming PCs. Futuristic, cyberpunkish, kinda outer space, robotic, whatever. Lots of CGI. It's a bit too new for any nostalgia. Feels like we're still in this. But it does give off kind of a cool factor. It's sleek, it's mysterious, and it gives off a wanderlust. This style makes you completely forget about the Y2K future. With dark colors and pops of lighted vector shapes, this is what we think the future is going to be like. But it's just a bit too overposed for it. And that does it for part 2 of my ranking series. Stay tuned as I upload part 3 of a video series of me ranking every aesthetic on the Consumer Aesthetic Research Institute website.